Good morning. I would like to present the topic from the article Optimization Mechanism of Resource Transfer Process between Company Codes using Stock in Transit. The person who created the article was Konrad BANDURSKI, Piotr JAKUBOWSKI, Rafał JANKOWIAK and Grzegorz BLIZNIUK. Um, About the abstract. The article presents description and application of the stock-in-transit mechanism in the process of transferring resources between company codes. The mechanism in the question is the functionality of SAP ERP technology for complex enterprise management provided by the pioneering SAP company, currently the global market leader in ERP software. The work presents the developed solution the problem of discounting of the resource recording in the system due to the periodic occurrence of the phenomenon of disappearance of resources. The above solution using the stock-in-transit mechanism was the compared against on other solution. About the introduction. Nowadays, the efficient of the optimal functioning in the companies requires the use of IT systems. This system called ERP, that means that Enterprise Resource Planning System support the facilitate complex management, which is possible the integration in the following area like accounting, logistic, and HR. Um, Enterprise resource planning of the beginning in the IT system or in enterprise, the beginning of innovation were system for improving production, material resource planning MRP, the beginning of which is set at end of 1950s. Over time, the system with modernization improved and new functionality were added. The second stage was manufacturing resource planning system at the end in 1980, following the first generation enterprise resource planning ERP and the second generation which has been extended with new models customer relation management CRM, supplier relation management SRM, supply chain management SCM, product lifecycle management PLM, and business intelligence BI, a business, etc. in this century. About enterprise resource planning system, ERP system include integration end-to-end management of all areas in enterprise using modules for among others like production planning, resource management, sales and distribution, human resource, etc. Moreover, these systems are constantly being developed and they are one of the most used IT solutions in commercial activity. In over the characteristic features or ERP system which are mainly results in introduction every branch in enterprise like innovation system, data integration, simplification, standardization, automation, best practice, cost and time reduction. In also worth nothing that the above software is not only used in the private corporation, but it also applied to the public institution. Uh, Example in ERP system function in Poland, named in the Polish Armed Forces, and integration multi-level system for the part of nation defense. Um, One of the suppliers of ERP software, SAP, is a pioneer of the technology, and the SAP ERP software is provided into currently one of the most widely used among medium, large, and largest companies around the world. In Poland, if aforementioned ZWS run systems created using this software. SAP ERP, apart from being divided into business area, consists of the models integration with each other's provide complex solution for enterprise management. Okay. Resource management. In the article, the resource management aspect is only concerned with material resources that belong on the company but are not related in the long term. Therefore, they are also called current resource. In addition, the above resource discussed into two types. First, resources which are used in the functionality of the enterprise. For example, in the case of the production, these are kind of raw materials and products as semi-finished product. Second, resource that the products and goods in the entry supply to extend customers at the part sales. In SAP ERP, the models that take part in the resource management process are material management and warehouse management. About description of the problem in the article we discuss in the article that this scanty in the recording of the stock of resource through the occurrence of the phenomenon of disappearance of resource from the system occurring during the process of the transferring resources between company codes. The source of this problem is the incorrect representation of the actual course in the process in the system. At the moment of the transferring the resources, precisely from the moment on the release from the warehouse belonging to the transferring company codes, the resource is removed from the records of this warehouse because physically it is no longer stored there. The stock says of the system still in the support, the button that referring company codes is completed, where it re-enters the system. The above approach was previously used in the case of the separate record system and the only data carrier was documentation in the paper version. Nowadays integration systems are used and in such a case where both company codes belong to the same client. The stock in transit mechanism in order so much functionality in the ends and requirements in enterprise precisely possible. SAP ERP offers a wide range of extension from the seats, including mechanisms dedicated directly to individual business branches called business extension, as well as business functionality, single process and tags. The stock in transit mechanism is a part of the business functionality called log seat which is an extension of the basic functionality of the stock transfer process used for the stock movement between plants, which is different company codes, as well as is the case for purchase and sold sales to extend customers. This mechanism makes it possible to continuous and transparently record and monitor to extend inventory and the resource in the transit from the movement of the stock leaves in the issue warehouse. It means that records and the transfer are unique but is blocked, which means that it involves the process still is ongoing. The change of the stock allocate occurrence of the movement and the handing over acknowledge. The main element of the developed solution is create of this new specially type stock called stock in transit. From the system's perspective, the stock takes from off buffer indeed for resources that are not included on the records and any company codes due to their physical transport. The above transfer consists of the two parts, representatively the transfer and the receiving company codes. When is transfer stock indeed on the buffer and indicates an ongoing unfinished transfer process, while stock in the state of the suspension of the system between records of company codes participating in the current transfer. The process transferring on the stage and of this eventual return divided into three stages which include the following events. The first, release and transfer from stock, unrestricted use from the warehouse to the buffer stock in transit, second, transfer between buffer stock in transit company codes, and the third, receipt and distribution of the stock transferred in warehouse back to the unrestricted stock. The realization of the retraining stage and the related the process. About compression, the table shows difference to course of the assess accounting process from the movement to provide detailed information on the transaction involving fixed assets. At the second stage of the solution and the problem is visible. Until now, after release, the inventory resource from transfer from the transferring company codes information about the states has been removed from the total system records and stored in the different form, usually from the paper documents until they were returned in the system records in the recovering company codes. However, the implementation of this CAS solution means that transfer resources still remain that system records and the reflection of the physical transfer stock in transit buffer. Applying the above solution allows that check on the exact loss level, including the stock in the process of the beginning and over. About the developed solution compared on the other solution, why searching the documentation of the SAP technology in order to find other solution to extend for extension. Function mechanisms use which would allow to solve the problem occurring during the transfer of resource lead to the extension of internal company billing. The above extension, however, in the basic version without on the stock transit mechanism, turned out the immediate solution. This intercompany billing solved the problem of the discontinuity, but it not the transformation of the actual resource transfer process because it's used to the transfer the resource immediately from transferring company costs the receiving unit without taking into account the time and need for the physical transport of resource. For each above reason, the solution did not fully meet of requirements, but it became the key of the development of the stage solution, the compression of the process flow into two About conclusion, currently effective management of the medium and large companies is necessary, which use the tools from of the IT system, ERP system created on the basic on the ACP technology present in the article are hierarchical but numbers extension possibilities, ensuring that the system functionality is precisely matched to the needs and the business requirements of enterprises regards in industry. This solution is example of this. The solution was developed due to the problem of the phenomenon of disappearance of resource in the current course on the process of transferring resource between company codes using dedicated extension in the form of intercompany billing, additionally enriched with the use of the stock in transit mechanism. The problem was solved, but ensuring continuous and accurate quantity and value records of the company billing. Thank you so much for listening my presentation.